There's always been this implied tension and resentment of Robyn within the Brown family, and it feels like those repressed feelings are finally starting to rise to the surface. Hi guys, I'm Sarah, and welcome back to TLC's Next Updates. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit that button and give this video a thumbs up, because what's about to drop is too good to pass up. This installment of Sister Wives, Season 19, could very well be the most emotional and devastating chapter the show has ever experienced. The family went through one of their darkest moments when they openly discussed Garrison's untimely death for the first time. For years-long viewers, it is quite obvious that this family's history had not been quite smooth, and this newest installment added the heaviest weight to their challenges yet. But that's only the start of it. One by one, the wives have begun to walk away from their shared life, opting instead to concentrate on their own paths. Meri, Janelle, and Christine have moved on, and Robyn is the sole remaining wife married to Cody. And in a moment of sincerity, Cody himself acknowledged that it seemed like polygamy had turned its back on him, leaving him stunned at the chaos that followed. With the family now distributed in various cities, getting Meri, Janelle, and Christine together for recording has never been more challenging. But in spite of the distance, TLC is paving the way for one of the most explosive tell-all specials ever. For the first time in many years, all the major players will be brought under one roof, and the feelings are going to erupt. TLC has been hinting at this high-stakes reunion for weeks now, and fans have already seen a glimpse of what's to come. In one of the teasers, Janelle and Christine hold nothing back as they confront Cody directly about his actions and choices. The tension in that room is palpable, and here's where things get really interesting. In this next tell-all, Cody finally starts to take ownership of his own failures. After all these seasons of shifting the blame elsewhere, he confesses that he wasn't doing his job as both a husband and dad, something fans have been waiting to see happen for years. If you're wondering when this dramatic special will air, don't go anywhere because I'm going to tell you all about it shortly. What you've seen so far is just a glimpse of what's in store for you. In one of the most memorable promos ever, host Sukanya Krishnan asks Christine in plain terms if she thinks Cody left Meri. There is not even a moment of hesitation on Christine's part. She unequivocally states that it wasn't Meri alone. Cody left all three wives. But that's not all. Christine also reveals something that she's long suspected but never confirmed. That Cody and Robyn's romance could have commenced way before they finally made it public. To prove her point, she even shares an engagement picture that catches a tender moment between the two, indicating that their relationship was much deeper than anybody ever imagined then. And just when you think it can't get any more complicated, Christine throws in one last bombshell about what happens behind closed doors with Cody. She tells us that the favoritism and clandestine affections he had for Robyn not only shattered the trust within their household, but also revealed the fissures that would ultimately crack their polygamous lifestyle. Christine also mentioned the fact that Cody used to commute 3 hours every weekend just to see Robyn. She asked him what the purpose was of all those long trips if, as Cody insisted, their relationship wasn't sexual at that time. As she made the comment, Christine gave host Sukanya Krishnan a knowing, flirtatious smile, alluding to something more than words spoken. And if you think that's salacious, just wait, because lots more drama is on its way. Fans have speculated for years that the Brown family would eventually come forward about Garrison's unfortunate death, and this season it does. Although they decided to keep some of the details to themselves, the family did pause to pay tribute to Garrison's memory in their own way. The loss has put even greater emotional resonance into an already weighty season, and fans are now counting down the days until the tell-all special, hoping to catch a glimpse of how these unresolved tensions will finally unfold. And here's something you'll want to mark on your calendar. The Sister Wives Tell-All is set to premiere on Sunday, May 25th, airing at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific Time on TLC. This highly anticipated event will be split into 4 intense episodes, each promising more revelations and confrontations than the last. Hosted by the bold Sukanya Krishnan, the tell-all includes one-on-one interviews between Cody and each of his 4 wives. They'll sit together and reminisce about their experiences, their family's triumphs and mistakes, and how their relationships have evolved over time. But hold on to your hats, Not all questions are easy ones. Sukanya isn't hesitant to get tough, asking easy and hard questions that make some of the Browns squirm in their seats. A highlight that fans won't be able to miss is when Cody loses all his temper in the course of his interview with Sukanya. In a jaw-dropping outburst, he instructs her to shut up, leaving the host visibly shaken. The manner in which she deals with the situation thereafter is guaranteed to be one of the highlights of the night. But that's not all. Christine is going to spit out more explosive secrets regarding Cody and Robyn's romance, while Janelle and Meri are set to finally expose Cody's true personality to the world. And as usual, Cody resorts to his old tricks, screaming, playing victim, and deflecting attention to how hard it has been for him during the breakup of the family. If you believed that this season was at its best, believe me no more. The tell-all will bring even more secrets revealed, confessions made, and shocking confrontations. Tune in and make sure you don't miss a moment. On a poignant episode of Sister Wives, the Brown family gathers to give a tearful goodbye to Garrison Brown. Only 25 years old, Garrison sadly took his own life, leaving behind a family already trying to come to terms with the tragedy. It's been more than a year since the fateful day, but now TLC is finally paying tribute to him in a manner that reflects the complexity of this family's sorrow. But wait, let's get back to this heartfelt goodbye first. Make sure you stick around, because what follows will really melt your heart. Garrison's death shook the whole Brown family to the core. His mother, Janelle, was clearly broken as she recalled her son, talking about him in a way only a heartbroken mom can. Even Cody Brown, known for his rough exterior, could not suppress his tears. For once, his eyes welled with tears as he thought about the life of the young man that was cut short too early. Seeing the family disintegrate together was nothing less than heartbreaking. And then, you think you have seen it all? Wait until you hear about the one phone call that turned everything around for Meri. Meri shared that she received news about the death of Garrison during what should have been a celebratory time, her birthday photo shoot. When Cody called her out of the blue, she did not pay much attention to it initially, and even instructed her team to ignore the call. She thought if it was so important, he would send a text. And then it arrived. The message one never wishes to see. Cody had stated that Garrison was deceased. Meri immediately left the shoot, declaring it an emergency, and reached out to Janelle, promising to be by her side in this dark hour. Stay with us, because the next part of this story will reveal just how deeply Garrison's death impacted each and every member of the Brown family. At the latest episode, the family came together as a whole to bury Garrison. Feelings were high as all of Brown's children united, crying and attempting to console each other. The suffering was still new, the tears real, and the love that they all felt for their departed brother was expressed in every phrase, in every hug. And what Meri has to say about the last time she ever saw Garrison will send shivers down your spine. Don't miss it. Meri opened up about how hard it was to lay eyes on Garrison for the last time. Saying goodbye to him in such circumstances was something she could never have been ready for. The episode captured her raw anguish as she reminisced about the last moments, and fans all over the world got a glimpse of the intensity of the family's grief. Before we move on, there is one potent moment you should know about. As the Brown family gathered to lay Garrison to rest, they weren't only grieving a loss, they were celebrating the life of a young man who was full of dreams, full of laughter, and full of love. The episode was not only a goodbye, but also a powerful reminder of just how vital mental health is and just how unbreakable family ties can be. It was disclosed that the whole Brown family recently reunited, but in the most sorrowful circumstances. They had reunited in order to bury Garrison. Christine said the reunion, as sad as it was a time to remember him. Cody, in a previous interview, said that Garrison had been buried with his grandmother's assistance. Standing together as a family, Janelle was hugged by her kids, tightly holding her while she cried. The grief hung in the air, and it was obvious that Garrison's loss created a wound too deep for words. Even Cody, usually reserved with his feelings, was vulnerable. He acknowledged that he's committed to doing all he can to honor his son's life. When the family got to the cemetery, they stood silently in a group, looking out across the gravesite, each of them lost in memories and sorrow. There was so much sentiment within hearts laden with the vastness of loss, and tears flowing freely as she shared touching memories of her son. Moments that summarized their own distinct spirit, and the strong love that bound them together. One mother, obviously overwhelmed, struggled to hold back her feelings. It was a rare public show of vulnerability by a tough woman, and her children held her in comforting hugs, attempting to temper the agonizing pain. Even the family's male authority figure, always seen as being serious and reserved, wept openly, revealing a more fragile side that the public sees so seldom. His palpable sorrow moved everyone who loved the young man and was a reminder to everybody there that sorrow has no limits. Amidst the turbulence, the kids, all living with their own troubles, supported each other to create a fragile support group. Much too, this most recent installment of the long-standing drama of the family has subjected audience members to the harsh reality, the heartbreaking loss of a young man whom both his family and fans loved. His effervescent spirit had once brought laughter and happiness to their lives, but that spark was abruptly lost when he ended his own life, leaving them with a grief that words can hardly describe. Even though so many months have lapsed since that tragic day, the memories are still as fresh as ever, and the wounds still hurt. The segment on his death provided a raw and uncut look at a family torn apart by loss. Hand in hand in their sorrow, the whole family united in paying their last respects, drawing strength from each other as they bid farewell to their dearest son. The air was thick with emotion, hearts burdened by a crushing feeling of loss. Tears came freely as a mother, overcome with grief, told moving stories that reflected her son's individual spirit and the abiding love they had for each other. It was a fleeting and very human moment of vulnerability from a woman otherwise noted for her toughness. Her children rallied around her, providing comfort and solace in hugs designed to heal a hurt that no words could mend. Even the patriarch of the family, so commonly regarded as stoic and reticent, wept uncontrollably, showing a softer side that the world had rarely seen. His visible heartache struck a chord in all who cared about the young man, a bittersweet reminder that sorrow knows no bounds. Shortly, the family was compelled to confront the cruel reality that their brother had died, victim to forces beyond the control of anyone. Instead of merely depicting a mourning family, the episode centered on their collective path toward healing and remembrance. A tragic accident halted what should have been a celebratory day. A birthday celebration, one member of the family remembered the instant she heard the tragic news, seizing the surprise and shock of losing someone so suddenly. As she was taking videos of the birthday celebration, she received a call from the head of the family. She was unsure and apprehensive, thus deciding to disregard the ringing phone and even instructing the crew to do the same. Judging that if it was really important, she would be informed about it. The reality only hit her like a thunderbolt when she eventually checked her unread messages. Her universe crumbled when she read the words that told her their loved son was no more. She immediately called an emergency, taking a step back from the shoot and grounding herself in the searing reality of loss and mourning. Her first call was to the mother of the young man, vowing to stand with her during the unimaginable grief. She candidly discussed the intolerable agony of giving a final farewell to her baby, something no mother should ever have to experience. The family had congregated at the resting place of a doting grandmother, a place surrounded by sorrow as well as contemplation. As the mother sobbed, her children embraced her, providing wordless comfort amidst the intolerable pain of loss. Each face mirrored the crushing weight of reconciling with the death of the young man. The head of the family was also visibly shaken, his words tinged with a sense of pride, loss, and affection. He professed openly his wish to honor his son's memory as best as possible. Together, the family stood in front of the cemetery, feelings swirling like a tidal wave as they gazed out over the still landscape. The scene moved many viewers profoundly, evoking an outpouring of compassion and solidarity online. Fans recognized the complicated and difficult journey the family was on and offered their warmest sympathies. However, in the midst of sympathy, some viewers were judgmental of the head of the family, questioning his past actions and how he treated the bereaved mother. They maintained that to honor their son when he was alive, perhaps all it would have taken was for him to be more respectful and considerate to the people he loved most. With one wife still by his side, he openly admitted, maybe for the first time ever, that the communal polygamous way of life that once he defended now constitutes a betrayal. Irony hangs thick in the air as he acknowledges that the lifestyle he advocated has come back to haunt him. In the meantime, the women who were once his spiritual equals have all moved on, forging their own separate paths full of fresh purpose and strong independence. Once sheltered under the same roof, these women now live separate lives, in other cities, even other states, physically and emotionally apart from each other. While it's been harder and harder to assemble them all to film, producers were still able to get them together again for what's sure to be a dramatic and memorable reunion. This new installment is a milestone moment in the long-running franchise. It's become a tradition, a raw, emotional, tell-all special where tensions boil, walls crumble, and long-buried secrets at last are revealed. Fans have been waiting with bated breath for weeks, teased by preview clips that suggest explosive admissions and hot confrontations guaranteed to rock the family's foundation. The host, who is renowned for her tongue-lashing and unafraid interviewing technique, asked an influential question to one of the most vocal voices on the show, Christine. Whether she thinks Meri had been dumped by the man they all used to consider their partner, Christine did not hold back. Her response was uncompromising and direct. Not merely Meri, but the two other wives who had the same spiritual commitment had also been left behind. Her words pierced the air like a knife, revealing the hard truth beneath the veneer. Christine didn't leave it there. She remembered something that had been haunting her for years, a photograph that appeared to indicate a greater intimacy between Cody and the woman who would eventually be his sole wife, Robyn. This photograph intimated an intimacy that might have developed far in advance of anyone openly admitting it. Her revelations incited a combination of suspicion and curiosity amongst viewers. She reported on Cody's weekly visits, hours of driving time, as too regular and close to be platonic, leaving the viewing audience to guess what those visits were really about. Smirking with a knowing sense of the possibilities, Christine allowed the innuendo to settle before letting viewers' imaginations do the rest. While the fans have already set the pot boiling with their emotional comments, the actual storm awaits the next episodes. Each of the family members will sit down for an individual chat with the hosts, a moment that can expect raw emotional confessions, unfettered truths, and the kind of truthful storytelling that has made this show so memorable. During these intimate sessions, long-held defenses will crumble, and carefully crafted facades will fall away, revealing the painful reality beneath. The family will confront the deep wounds that have shaken their world, perhaps for the very first time. While some personal details remain off-limits, these conversations are a tribute, a way to honor a life lost far too early. The gloom cannot be avoided. Their faces are etched with sorrow, and their voices quake with emotion. In addition to looking back on past wounds, this series of emotive interviews will push each of the participants to own up to their own contribution to the breakdown of the family. Some answers are certain to set off further heat, while others may be unexpectedly courteous. At the heart of it all is a man who's never been one to take criticism quietly. Viewers have already seen him grow visibly agitated as emotions run high and tough questions arise. In a rare moment of pure frustration, he lashes out at the host, telling her to be quiet, a striking display of unfiltered annoyance. Her shocked response only serves to heighten the tension bubbling just beneath the surface. These raw exchanges may be hard to watch, but they're as authentic as it gets. Christine's frankness is no surprise. But now that she's gained her confidence, Janelle is coming forward to give her own truth, revealing a new dimension to the family dynamic that will enthrall and move audiences. Decisions. This long-running family drama's latest chapter has compelled audiences to face a very painful reality: the sad demise of a young man who was loved so much by the family and their followers. Though his energetic and vibrant energy once kept them laughing and smiling, tragedy befell when he chose to end his life, leaving an agony that words cannot totally soothe. Though many moons have passed since the horrible day, the memories are still vivid, and the wounds are still fresh. The episode dedicated to his farewell provided a genuine and uncensored glimpse into a mourning family. The entire family gathered for the somber occasion, united by sorrow but drawing strength in each other as they prepared to lay to rest their beloved son. Fans viewing this scene were highly emotional, many showing sympathetic empathy for Janelle. Some fans even criticized that if Cody genuinely wanted to pay tribute to his son, then he should have been kinder and more respectful to Janelle during Garrison's lifetime. There were long-standing rumors of strife between Garrison and Cody prior to his death, and fans did not hold back their feelings. "My heart just weeps for you all," one fan wrote. Another posted, "Too bad Cody didn't respect Garrison when he was alive to witness it." The backlash didn't end there. Several asked why Cody had Garrison's photograph hidden away in the garage rather than having it tucked away somewhere special in the house. One viewer admitted that the most recent episode was heartbreaking to watch and couldn't fathom why a father would not keep his own son's picture near him. Meanwhile, Meri and Christine were reportedly distraught throughout the experience. The gravity of the loss overshadowed them, leaving them in a state of confusion as to how they could deal with such unimaginable heartache. Even though TLC is broadcasting this heartbreaking tome a year after the actual events occurred, grief still feels fresh for both the family and the audience. Numerous fans are still mourning with them, unable to accept the reality that a person so young and vibrant can be dead so abruptly. It's times like these that remind the fans just how much the winds of change have blown over this once tightly knitted family. What used to be a home based on love, common dreams, and togetherness is now a picture of breakups, tense relationships, and pieces left behind trying to find a way out. It was a mournful affair as the whole Brown family united in a sorrowful cause to bury Garrison. The anguish of the occasion was there for all to feel. Janelle, utterly distraught, was hugged and consoled by her children as she cried tears of sorrow. Embracing the death of Garrison has been a terrible ordeal for the family. Even Cody, who has long seemed emotionally distant, was visibly emotional at the goodbye. He made a sincere wish to do whatever he could to make his late son proud. But what makes this moment even more poignant is the fraught history between father and son, a history many fans haven't forgotten. And just when you feel the emotions couldn't become any more intense, what transpired at the graveyard left both the family and the audience shaken. As the family pulled up at the cemetery, their gaze swept the serene landscape, a dramatic contrast to the tempest of sorrow they bore within. Viewers at home shared the ache in each shot, many taking to social media to post about their sadness and solidarity with Janelle. Some sharply criticized that if Cody really wanted to respect Garrison, he could have done so when his son was alive. The hard reality is that Garrison and Cody's relationship was strained prior to his premature death. Comments flooded in from devoted fans, with one posting, "My heart just cries for you all." Another chimed in, "Too bad Cody didn't respect Garrison when he was alive." The most heart-wrenching comment of the evening was from a viewer who asked why Cody kept the photo of his own son hidden in the garage rather than keeping it with him, and stated, why couldn't he keep the picture of his own son in the house? And if you thought Cody and Janelle's heartbreak was the extent of it, wait until you see the responses of Meri and Christine, which made the episode even more heartbreaking. Both Meri and Christine were visibly devastated by the loss. The desolation in their eyes told it all as they tried to cope with emotions no parent or friend should ever have to endure. For them, the shock was further compounded by the fact that someone so young, so full of life, and full of promise was no more. Compound the gravity of it all is that TLC is actually showing these scenes a year after the fact. Even though time has elapsed, the sadness is fresh for both the Brown family and their loyal fans. The harshness of losing someone so vivacious at such a young age is something no one can readily accept. This season of the popular family docuseries is one of the most dramatic yet. The new season gets very deep into the breaking bonds and tough realities that have made the Brown saga continue. Stepping away from the spiritual togetherness they had so fervently once held, audiences now see the stark and sorrowful anguish left behind after a life of youth that had brought light and happiness to the whole family. The Browns for the first time candidly spoke about the agonizing empty space that resulted from Garrison's death, a harsh reality that life must continue, despite shattered hearts. Around which all this emotional turmoil swirls is the patriarch of the family, a man struggling with the crumbling foundation of the life he constructed. Strained relations and tensions hung over everything. There were accounts of tension and estrangement between the young man and his father prior to his demise, casting a shadow over the family narrative. Most fans felt sad about such broken relationships, hoping that if the situation had not been as bad, the young man could have been given more love and attention. The audience couldn't help but observe signs of emotional abandonment and disconnection in the family, fueling rumors of the underlying conflicts and complicated emotions involved with this sad loss. Two of the women in the family were openly devastated, trying to get over the loss of a brother and son. For viewers, seeing these painful scenes play out long after they actually occurred only served to deepen the emotional resonance, as many had been anticipating the family finally airing out their grief. The young man's untimely death left an unfillable void, a stark reminder of a vibrant soul taken far too soon. His passing continues to leave loved ones searching for peace and understanding. Thank you for watching. If you want to stay updated with the latest news and stories, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join us for daily updates.